request Sri Kaushik Sinha sir, ADM Education, and it's a great honor that sir is amongst us today, and we would request sir to please come up on stage. So now, as you all know, that we have gathered here for the next Gen Z bioresources frontiers for the sustainable world. The Gen Z, like 1997 to 2000 onwards, those who have born, and their population in our country is near about 30%, but they are contributing to the market, and as a consumer they are contributing more than 46% in the consumer market. So you can understand the impact of this Gen Z in upcoming days, but the root should be strengthened. And one of the notable rice scientists of our country, we had a opportunity to listen his lecture in Ekris at Hyderabad. Dr. R.H. Richaria, one of the people say the grandfather of rice research in India. He said the quality of the Indian soil is so good that more than 2 lakhs varieties of the rice are getting produced in this country with a different aroma, nutritional benefit, and medicinal benefits. So it's our, we must embrace the soil, and the soil which is the root for every progress. So before going for the further sessions, we are going to watering the plants, because we want to embrace the soil, the mati of this great Bengal, the great country. And for that, we would request all the respected dignitaries, please come forward and help us to do this watering of the plant session. It's an honor that we would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Shodangshu Mukhopadhyay Sir, our Honorable Principal, Shati Chakraborty Madam, and all the respected dignitaries, please come forward and watering the plants. This is a very new concept. Earlier, we had the lighting the lamp session, but as Madam, a notable environment scientist, it is her concept that we must think about the sustainable development, and watering the plants is truly a great move forward, that we believe the sustainable growth should enrich the soil nutrition, because everything comes from the root, and we must embrace the quality of our soil. So now we would request our Honorable Principal Madam to felicitate the respected dignitaries, and it's no, I would request our respected volunteer members, please come forward with the token of appreciation, and we would felicitate them. It's an honor that we are going to felicitate Professor Dr. Shodangshu Mukhopadhyay Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University. Now we are felicitating Honorable Nikhil Chandra Das Sir, Superintendent District Hospital, Asansol. Honorable Sri Kaushik Sinha Sir, ADM Education, Government of West Bengal. It's a proud moment for us to felicitate all the respected dignitaries. Kaushik Sinha Sir. Now we are going to felicitate our honorable, we would request Professor Oshomanjo Chattopadhyay sir to please come up on stage. So it's a great honor to felicitate Dr. Oshomanjo Chattoraj sir. Sir, please come forward and come up on stage, and it's a great honor to felicitate Oshomanjo sir, because sir is a, it's a always a lighthouse of knowledge. He guided us in a different platform from, for guiding, for formulating about the syllabus, and for any technical issues in biological science. His guidance is truly remarkable. It's a great honor to welcome and felicitate Oshomanjo Chattoraj sir. We are truly honored to participate in this platform. Now, I would request our Honorable IQAC Coordinator sir to felicitate our Honorable Principal Madam, the brainchild of this entire program. After joining this institute, she has been constantly working to transform the entire culture and integrity and ethos of the organization, and the behavior towards the scientific temperament has been increased. So it's a great honor to once again to welcome and felicitate Madam on this great platform. Now I would request the convener of this entire program, Dr. Supriyo Roy sir, to felicitate our Honorable IQAC Coordinator sir, Dr. Viru Rajok sir. Dr. Viru Rajok sir. Supriyo sir will felicitate Dr. Viru Rajok sir. Thank you. Thank you, our volunteer team. And as you know, in Great Bengal Renaissance, one of the greatest philosopher, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa, once said, "The money from the era of Mughals does not work in the era of emperor. Mughal আমলে টাকা কোম্পানি আমলে চলে না." So the only thing which can substantiate the knowledge gap, it is the constant thrive for the research experiment in philosophy, in science, and in every domain of knowledge. We have to constantly in moving forwards and indulge ourselves in the research. And the guiding force of internal quality assurance cell, the coordinator, Dr. Viru Rajok sir, is a is the person, one call person. Whenever we are in need, this college is in need, he is the person you can look forward. So we welcome Dr. Viru Rajok sir for the welcome address about this next Gen Z bioresources frontier for sustainable world conference. Sir.
Thank you. On a dais, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor Saransu Mukhopadhyay Sir, Honorable Principal Madam Dr. Swati Chakraborty, respected Dr. Nikhil Chandra Das, Superintendent District Hospital, Honorable ADM Sir, Kaushik Sinha Sir, Professor Asamanjas Chattaraj, Science Dean, Kazi Nazrul University, respected researcher, faculty members, principals from the nearby colleges, and dear students. It's an immense pleasure for me to welcome all you in a two-day international conference. Topic: Gen Z Resources Frontier for the Sustainable World. Really, through this international conference, we are providing a suitable platform, academic platform, where we can exchange our ideas, we can exchange our research. Literally, this is the demand for the sustainable world. On this occasion, I would welcome all the dignitary, all the researcher, all the guests, and each and everyone that has associated with this conference. I would like to thank everyone, and I hope this seminar, this conference will best in the term of sharing their knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now I would request, in my PG and PhD, I was in ICMR, National Institute of Nutrition, and just 200 meter away from NIN, we had Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, CCMB. So in CCMB, Martin Calif, he came, a Nobel laureate. You all know the green fluorescent protein, his work in that particular domain. And he was discussing about one thing, that the Britishers, what are the things they have destroyed in Indian context, but more or less the major destruction happened from the America in the behavior towards the diet, towards the environment. So, and which cause a impactful, epigenetic factors, diet and environment, and it will have a cascade of reaction. So the person who has been advocating about the environment and sustainable growth is none other than our principal madam, Dr. Shati Chakraborty. She is a flag bearer of environmental science. Her work in environmental science and biotechnology is recognized across the world, and she is a consultant and eminent environmental scientist, and we are truly honored. The government of West Bengal sent madam here to lead us. It's a proud moment to welcome madam to give her inaugural speech about today's next Gen Z bioresources frontiers for the sustainable world. Ma'am, we are waiting for you.
Thank you, Dr. Arnab, sir. So, today we are here to have our international conference of 2 days international conference that on Nexgen bioresources frontier for sustainable world. First of all, our respected patronage chief and distinguished national and international speakers and honored guests, esteemed faculty members and researchers, dear students, and all the press members, and all our GB members, and all the principal, those who are present today to encourage and to give our encouragements to all the students to take a steps towards to take up the international conference in this college, Asansol College. I really have that immense scopes to get that reflections that they are with us, and we are really happy to have them in our campus. And with that, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all the students from different states and also the different district of West Bengals, those who are online and also the offline joining in this international conference. And not only that, that international speakers, they are joining across the country on this particular August occasions of this conference, our Asansol Girls College. The conference basically reflects the collaborative commitments towards the sustainable development goal. And as we know that sustainable development goals are the 17 goals that we need to complete and we need to target whatever the actions we are doing, we have to achieve that sustainable development goal. And through that, that innovative bioresource management and also the research aspects have the great aspects on this area. So this scientific advancement for the better tomorrow, this conference could contribute better for our young generations. In this era, as it is marked by the climate change and also the biodiversity loss and also the environmental challenges in all throughout the world, the role of next generations, that bioresource management has become more significant than ever. We are deeply honored to have the eminent, all the international and the national speakers whose expertise and also the experience will undoubtedly enrich our understanding and inspire the meaningful dialogues for us. Their presence strengthens the academic spirit of collaborations and also the global partnerships. I am confident that the deliberation over these 2 days will generate the new ideas, foster the interdisciplinary research, and pave the way for practical solutions that contribute to a sustainable world. Let us make this conference a platform for knowledge sharing, innovations, and also the collective responsibility towards to make the sustainable development. Thank you all and wishing the conference a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. And now, as United Nations has termed this year as the Women in Workforce, International Year of Women in Workforce, particularly the women, those who are associated with in agriculture, as Madam was advocating about the sustainable development. And when the women they go to this agricultural field, this the extensive use of fertilizer, it is having a huge impact on their immune system and their physiological mechanism. So it's a time to welcome our convener, sir, and who has been working in the endocrine biology. It's a proud moment to got him as our convener in Next Gen Z Bioresources Frontiers for a Sustainable World, Dr. Shupriyo Roy, eminent endocrine biologist, and it's a great moment to hear from his own experience about today's 2 days international conference. So, sir, please, we are waiting for you.
स्थापकायश्च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणी अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे त्रयोसित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः lead us from unreal to real lead us from darkness to light lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Respected guests, distinguished scientists, researchers, scholars, beloved students, and delegates, good morning to you all. It's a great honor and great responsibility to greet you at this international conference, Next Gen Z Bioresources Frontiers for a Sustainable World. As its convener, I stand before you with immense pride and hope because this conference is more than just an academic gathering, it is a collective vision for the future. There is a sense of urgency that permeates our time. Issues like food insecurity, biodiversity loss, climate change, resource depletion, environmental degradation, and emerging diseases are all present rather than hypothetical. The modern world requires solutions that are creative, scalable, inclusive, and above all, sustainable. Furthermore, at this critical juncture, biological resources become our most powerful allies. Examining these very frontiers is the aim of this conference. Over the next 2 days, there will be discussions on topics such as biotechnology, environmental science, climate resilience, agriculture sustainability, microbiome research, bioeconomy strategies, AI-driven biological modeling, and circular bioresource systems. But more importantly, we will promote interdisciplinary dialogue because collaboration will be the key to constructing sustainability in the future. Let's reaffirm our shared commitment to sustainability, innovation, responsibility, and international cooperation as we kick off this conference. I formally welcome everyone to Next Gen Z Bioresources frontiers for a sustainable world with a lot of excitement and hope. Let's start the conversations, allow the partnerships to develop, and let sustainable bioinnovations future develop, beginning growth now. Last but not least, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our Principal Madam, Dr. Swati Chakravarti, to IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Biru Rajak, all the faculty members of Asansol Girls College, all the non-teaching staffs of Asansol Girls College for immense support and help. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir rightly said about the entire crux of the international conference. And now it's a great honor to felicitate Honorable Subdivisional Officer Vishwajit Bhattacharya, sir, in this great platform. So now I would request our Honorable Principal Madam to felicitate Vishwajit Bhattacharya, sir. Volunteers, please come forward. As you all know about the Chinmoy Guho, one of the best scholar of this country, eminent, his literature, his ideas about the education, science, and literary mastery of him, it's truly remarkable. And he often says that we do not write anything, we just translate and we get everything from the nature. And the only creator of this art is the plant, who can take the toxic element, carbon dioxide, and transform it to oxygen. And we believe that our government officials are rightly they are the people, they are the plant of this entire state machinery. They take the entire toxicity and they give a beautiful machinery where we run our organization, where we are growing. And we are very fortunate. The West Bengal is always blessed with the best of the best mind in the government sector. It's a proud moment to welcome our ADM sir, ADM Education, Sri Kaushik Sinha sir. Sir, we are eagerly waiting for your kind words.
আজ আসানসোল গার্লস কলেজের পক্ষ থেকে সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের উপরে যে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল সেমিনার আয়োজন করা হয়েছে তার জন্য আয়োজক কলেজ কর্তৃপক্ষকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। এটি এই সময়ের জন্য অত্যন্ত প্রয়োজনীয় একটি কাজ। এই অনুষ্ঠান মঞ্চে উপস্থিত সমস্ত ডিগনিটারিজ, কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল ম্যাডাম, কলেজের শিক্ষক অশিক্ষক কর্মচারী এবং আমার ছোট ছোট ছাত্রছাত্রী বন্ধুরা, মিডিয়ার যারা এসেছেন সকলকে আমার পক্ষ থেকে অনেক শুভেচ্ছা, ধন্যবাদ। আমার নিজের ব্যক্তিগতভাবে খুব ভালো লাগছে এরকম একটি সেমিনারে উপস্থিত থাকার জন্য। সাধারণত আমরা যেগুলোতে অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত থাকি সেটা রুটিন মিটিংস হয় বা কোনো ডিজাস্টার বা ইত্যাদির চলাকালীন আপৎকালীন সময়ে আমাদেরকে মিটিং করতে হয়, তার মধ্যে এই ক্রিয়েটিভিটি থাকে না। আজকে সেমিনারে যে আলোচনা হবে, কারেন্ট ক্রস কারেন্টস যেগুলো হবে তার মধ্যে একটা ডিসিশনস বেরিয়ে আসবে, এই যে ক্রিয়েটিভিটির আনন্দ সেটা তার মধ্যে থাকে না। সুতরাং আমার ব্যক্তিগতভাবে এই অনুষ্ঠানে পুরোটাই থাকতে পারলে ভালো হতো, কিন্তু আমি থাকতে পারবো না। আমার নিজেরও ওই রকমই একটি মানডেন মিটিং এ আমাকে অ্যাটেন্ড করতে হবে। আমি দু চার কথা তোমাদের সামনে বলি। শিক্ষার উদ্দেশ্য নিয়ে একটা খুব ছোট্ট ভালো অ্যানেকডোট আছে। একজনকে প্রশ্ন করা হয়েছিল যে বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের উদ্দেশ্য কি, বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় কি পারপাজে, কি কারণে বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় প্রতিষ্ঠা হয়, শেখানোর জন্য না সমাজ পরিবর্তনের জন্য নাকি? এক কথায় ভদ্রলোক উত্তর দিয়েছিলেন যে একটি ঘোড়াকে পুকুরের সামনে নিয়ে এসে তাকে তৃষ্ণার্ত বানানো, এটাই হলো ইউনিভার্সিটির কাজ। স্যার আমি একটা অনুষ্ঠানে আছি, আপনাকে 2 মিনিট আমি কল ব্যাক করছি। হ্যাঁ আসি। ছোট্ট গল্পটার মানে এটাই যে আমরা অনেকেই ভেবে থাকি ইউনিভার্সিটি পাস করার পরে আমাদের শিক্ষার সমাপ্তি হলো, কিন্তু অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইউনিভার্সিটি পাস করার পরে আমাদের জীবনে শিক্ষা শুরু হলো। আমি যখন তোমাদের মতো ছাত্র ছিলাম আমারও ভেবেছিলাম যে ইউনিভার্সিটি পড়া শেষ হলো মানে হলো আমি সব শিখে গেছি, কিন্তু তারপর থেকেই যখন জার্নিটা শুরু হলো, লাইফের জার্নিটা শুরু হলো, তখন বুঝলাম যে সেদিন অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটা শূন্য কলসি ছিলাম, আস্তে আস্তে এই কলসিটা ভরছে এবং এটা কোনোদিনই ভরবে না, আমৃত্যু কোনোদিনই ভরবে না। এখানে একটা রিলিভেন্ট প্রশ্ন, শিক্ষা কি দেওয়া যায়? মানে আমরা অনেক সময়ই বলি শিক্ষা দান, শিক্ষা কি দেওয়া যায়? আমি যতটুকু শিখেছি, আমার যতটুকু উপলব্ধি, তাতে আমি বলবো শিক্ষা দেওয়া যায় না, শিক্ষা নেওয়া যায়। একটু ভালো করে ভাবো, একজন টিচার ক্লাসে পড়াচ্ছেন, একজন প্রফেসর ক্লাসে পড়াচ্ছেন, যদি শিক্ষা দেওয়া যেত তাহলে লাইটের মতো, একটা বাল্ব জ্বলার মতো প্রত্যেকটা টেবিলে সমান পরিমাণ আলোক কিরণ পৌঁছতো। কিন্তু একটা ক্লাসে সবাই সমানভাবে শেখে না, শেখে না কারণ তার আধার, তার মধ্যে যে শিক্ষা নেওয়ার যে প্রবণতা বা যে তার মধ্যে শিক্ষা নেওয়া গ্রহণ করার যে প্রবণতা, সেটা কিন্তু সবার ক্ষেত্রে সমান নয়, এবং সেই জন্য শিক্ষা নেওয়া যায়, শিক্ষা দেওয়া যায় না। আমার মন যদি আমি ওয়াইড ওপেন না করতে পারি, তাহলে একটা সময় আমার ধারণা আসবে যে আমার কলস পূর্ণ, এর মধ্যে আর শিক্ষা ঢালা যাবে না। সুতরাং এই যে শিক্ষা ঢালা যাবে না, ঢাললে উপচে পড়ে যাবে, এইটা যেন কখনো কোনো দিন এই অবস্থা না হয় যে আমার শিক্ষা সম্পূর্ণ হয়ে গেছে আর ঢাললেই এই শিক্ষা উপচে পড়ে যাবে। অতএব আধারটাকে এত বড় রাখতে হবে যাতে করে আমরা যত শেখার আছে সবটাই শিখতে পারি, এর কোনোদিন পূর্ণ হবে না। এখানে আরেকটি রেলিভেন্ট বিষয়, সেটা হচ্ছে আমি এই যে ওয়াইড ওপেন করে রাখলাম মনটাকে, এটা শুধু শেখার জন্য না, এটা হলো অন্যের যে কৃষ্টি, অন্যের যে সংস্কৃতি, সেটাকেও আমাকে নিতে হবে। আমাদের প্রায় সময়ই ভুল হয়, আমরা আমাদের শিক্ষা, আমাদের সংস্কৃতি, আমাদের যে কালচার, সেটাকেই সবসময় সেরা বলে অভিহিত করে থাকি, কিন্তু আমার কালচারই সেরা, অন্যেরটা সেরা নয়, এটা হতে পারে না। আমি যে কালচারে বিলং করছি, আমি যে কাজটা করছি, সেই রকম ভাবে সেই কাজটা অন্য রকম ভাবে প্রত্যেকটা সোসাইটিতে হচ্ছে, প্রত্যেকটা ধর্মে হচ্ছে। তাহলে আইদার আমরা সকলেই ভুল করছি অথবা সকলেই ঠিক করছি একসাথে। এই মনোবৃত্তি নিয়ে যদি আমরা না চলতে পারি, আজকের যে সেমিনারের উদ্দেশ্য সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট সম্বন্ধে আলোচনা, এটা কখনোই হবে না। আমাদের একটা বায়োলজিক্যাল সত্তা থাকে, সে আমাদের সবসময়ই চাই যে আমার যে সুখ, আত্মসুখ, সেই আত্মসুখের জন্য কাজ করব। কিন্তু এর বাইরে আমাদের একটা সোশ্যাল সেলফ আছে, এই বায়োলজিক্যাল সেলফের বাইরে একটা সোশ্যাল সেলফ আছে, যে আমাদেরকে সমাজের জন্য বাঁচতে শেখায়। আজকে তোমার বাড়িতে ট্যাপ কানেকশন আছে, তোমার ট্যাপ কানেকশনে উপযুক্ত প্রচুর জল আছে, এই যে প্রচুর জল আছে, সেই কারণে তুমি ট্যাপটা সারাদিন খুলে রাখবে, তোমার চার্জ লাগে না বলে তুমি ট্যাপটা সারাদিন খুলে রাখবে। এইটা যদি করো, ইউ আর নট পার্টিসিপেটিং ইন সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট। আমাদেরকে প্রত্যেকটা ছোট ছোট কাজের মধ্যে ভাবতে হবে যে আর উই ইউটিলাইজিং আওয়ার সোশ্যাল সেলফ, আমাদের সামাজিক সত্তাকে কি আমরা জাগ্রত করতে পেরেছি? আজকে আমি যদি অহেতুক কারেন্টটা জ্বালিয়ে রাখি, আমি সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের বড় কনসেপ্ট সেমিনারে আলোচনা হবে বলছি না, আমি যদি সারাদিন ঘরে অকারণে লাইট জ্বালিয়ে রাখি, আমি কি ক্ষতি করছি সেটা আমি যদি একবার ভাবি, তাহলে আমি দেখবে আমার সোশ্যাল সেলফ এমনিতেই জাগ্রত হবে। না, এটা উচিত না। বিলের কথাটা পরে ছেড়ে দাও, বিলের কথাটা আসবে যে তোমার বাবা বলবে এই বিল বেড়ে যাচ্ছে, আমার মাইনের পয়সাতে এটা হবে না বা ইত্যাদি, সেটা ছেড়ে দাও। আমাকে নিজে প্রশ্ন করতে হবে যে আমি এটা কি ঠিক করছি। আমি পরিশেষে একটা ছোট্ট কথা বলি, কবি সুকান্ত বলেছিলেন এই পৃথিবীকে শিশুর বাসযোগ্য করে যাব আমি। সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের উদ্দেশ্য সেটাই। আমি আমার প্রজন্ম, এই প্রজন্মেই যদি আমি সমস্ত রিনিউয়েবল এনার্জি এক্সস্ট করে যাই, তাহলে আমি পরবর্তী প্রজন্মের জন্য কি রেখে গেলাম? এই ভাবনাই আমাদেরকে একটা বৃহত্তর জগতের সামনে আমাদেরকে দাঁড় করাই, একটা বৃহত্তর প্রশ্নের মুখে আমাদের দাঁড় করাই। এই প্রশ্নের মুখোমুখি হওয়ার সাহসটুকু যদি আমাদের থাকে, তাহলেই আমরা বলবো যে হ্যাঁ, এই পৃথিবী শিশুর বাসযোগ্য হবে। আমাদের জেনারেশনের পরেও যারা আসবে তারা বলবে যে আমরা, আমাদের জেনারেশন যে কাজ করে গেছিল সেটা সত্যি সত্যি সাস্টেনেবল। থ্যাংক ইউ।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ কৌশিক স্যারকে। আমরা আমাদের মধ্যে পেয়েছি আমাদের সম্মানীয় প্রিন্সিপাল স্যারদের। টিডিবি কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যার ডক্টর সঞ্জীব পান্ডে স্যার, নোটেবল বায়োলজিস্ট, তাকে আমরা মঞ্চে আসার জন্য অনুরোধ করছি। আমরা আমাদের মধ্যে পেয়েছি বিধানচন্দ্র কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল ফাল্গুনী মুখোপাধ্যায় স্যারকে, ডক্টর ফাল্গুনী মুখোপাধ্যায় স্যার, ডক্টর শুভ্রাংশু পান স্যার, কুলটি কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল স্যারকে আমরা আমাদের মধ্যে পেয়েছি। আমরা প্রত্যেক এবং আমাদের জিবি মেম্বারদেরকেও আমরা অনুরোধ করব, আমাদের দশরথ আমাদের চন্দ্রশেখর কুন্ডু স্যার এবং ভগবত মাঝি স্যারকে আমরা অনুরোধ করব যে মঞ্চে আসার জন্য। আমরা আমাদের যে এই ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কনফারেন্সের যে অ্যাবস্ট্রাক্ট বুক, সেইটা আমরা রিলিজ করতে চলেছি। ইটস এ গ্রেট অনার, ইটস এ ভেরি ফার্স্ট অ্যাটেম্প্ট ফ্রম আস in 2026, next generation bioresources frontiers for sustainable world. The abstract book is going to be released. It's a great honor that amongst us we have Dr. Shonji Pandey sir. His books in biological science is very renowned. His researches, Falguni Mukhopadhyay sir, a notable academician, academic administrators, and all the respected dignitaries are here to, well, inaugurate the abstract book. It's a great honor. And we would request our press media person to please consider this photo for the next day issue. It's a great honor. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for. Now, I would request Honorable Principal Madam to felicitate Dr. Shonji Pandey sir in this international conference. We are truly honored that we are going to felicitate our respected Shonji Pandey sir. We have learned a lot from him when he was in BB College. Now we are missing him in Asansol, but it's a great honor always to to look Shonji Pandey sir for any sort of solution. It's a great honor to felicitate him in this platform. So I would request our Honorable Principal Madam and our volunteers to please come forward and felicitate Shonjib sir. So it's an honor to felicitate Dr. Falguni Mukhopadhyay sir, Honorable Principal, Bidhan Chandra Rai College. It's a Bidhan Chandra College, Asansol. It's a great honor because we heard him in our entrepreneurial workshop, and his vision is always, remarkable. So it's a great honor to felicitate you once again, Dr. Shubhrangshu Pan sir, Principal, Honorable Principal, Kulti College. It's a great honor to felicitate Dr. Shubhrangshu Pan sir in this international conference. We are truly honored to have him amongst us. It's a great honor that we are here and to, gather some experiences from them. It's truly a great honor. And now we are waiting for our Ishojit Bhattacharya sir, SDO Asansol. And in 75 years celebration, we heard Vishwajit sir, his idea. It's a great. It's an honor to welcome Vishwajit Bhattacharya sir once again. We are truly, eagerly waiting for sir because his 75 year celebration remark was it is in our archive. Sir, আপনি যখনই বলেন আমরা অনেক অনেক কিছু শিখি। আবারও আপনার কাছে আমরা অপেক্ষায় আছি অনেকটা শেখার জন্য আমাদের ছাত্রীরা। Thank you sir.
So, very good morning to all. International Conference Nexgen Gen Z Bioresources Frontiers for a Sustainable World. আজকে যে আলোচনা সভা অনুষ্ঠিত হতে চলেছে, অলরেডি আমাদের আসানসোল গার্লস কলেজের উদ্যোগে আজকের যে আলোচনা সভা, আমাদের কিছুক্ষণ আগে আমাদের এডিএম এডুকেশন এডিএম ডেভেলপমেন্ট ছিলেন আমাদের এখানের এই কলেজের অধ্যক্ষা মহাশয়া, তিনি আছেন, এবং আমাদের যারা এমিনেন্ট সায়েন্টিস্ট ইন দিস ফিল্ড তারা এখানে আছেন। কলেজের প্রিন্সিপাল যারা আমার খুবই পরিচিত সবাই, তারা সবাই ছিলেন। এই কলেজের সঙ্গে যারা বিভিন্ন বিষয়ের অধ্যাপিকা যারা আছেন তারা আছেন, এবং তার সঙ্গে স্টুডেন্টরা আছেন। বেশি কথা আজকে বলার নয়, অলরেডি কয়েকজন যারা অলরেডি বলেছেন, তারা বলেছেন যে সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা খুব ছোট ছোট পর্যায়ে ভাবলে, আমরা সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা ভাবতে শুরু করেছি 80-র দশক থেকে, বা তারও কিছুটা আগের থেকে মোটামুটি ভাবতে শুরু করেছি। এখন এই জায়গাটা যে জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে গেছে, সেই জায়গাতে এসে প্রতিটি দেশ, প্রতিটি মানে রাষ্ট্র এবং তার সঙ্গে যারা তার জনগণ, তারা যদি সবাই মিলে না এগিয়ে আসেন, তাহলে এই সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের জায়গায় আমরা যেতে পারবো না। আমাদের প্রতিদিনের যে অভ্যাস, সেটা যেটা একটু আগে এডিএম এডুকেশন বলে গেলেন, যে প্রতিদিনের অভ্যাসের মাধ্যম দিয়ে আমরা সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট করতে পারি। আমাদের আজকের যে যুগ, সেই যুগে কিন্তু আমরা এমন কিছু জিনিস ইউজ করি বা করতে বাধ্য হই, যেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের ইলেকট্রনিক গ্যাজেটস হতে পারে, বা আদার্স যে সমস্ত আমরা পেরিফেরিয়ালস ইউজ করি, সেই সমস্ত জিনিসের ইউজের আমাদের একটা সাইড ইফেক্ট আছে। সাইড ইফেক্টের মানে হচ্ছে এই, যে এই জিনিসগুলো কিন্তু, সব জিনিসগুলোই কিন্তু আমাদের ওভারঅল এনভায়রনমেন্টের উপরে একটা ইম্প্যাক্ট করে। আমাদের যারা ছাত্রছাত্রী এখানে যারা আছেন, বিভিন্ন কলেজ থেকে এসেছেন, তাদের কাছে, বা যারা আপনারা, এই জন্য নেক্সট জেনারেশন কথাটা ইউজ করা হয়েছে, বিকজ ইউ আর দ্য নেক্সট জেনারেশন। আপনারা যদি, আপনারা বা তোমরা যাই বলি আর কি, তোমরা যদি আমাদের আমাদের এই যে কি বলবো, আমাদের এই বিশ্বকে যদি আরো ভালো জায়গায় নিয়ে যাওয়া, বা যে অবস্থায় আমরা আছি সেই অবস্থা থেকে যাতে আমাদের পরিবেশগতভাবে যেন আর ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত না হয়, সেই জায়গায় যদি আমরা ভাবতে পারি, তবেই আমাদের সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের জায়গায় আমরা আসতে পারবো। তার জন্য আমাদের এই যে রিসার্চ এবং বিভিন্ন ধরনের এই যে আলোচনা চক্র, সেটার খুবই জরুরি। কারণ আমরা যারা বিভিন্ন ফিল্ডে যারা আছি, তারা আমরা এই জায়গাটাতে আমরা নিজের নিজের কাজের সঙ্গে যুক্ত থাকি। সেই নিজের নিজের কাজ করার স্বার্থে আমি আমার অফিসে আমি 20টা বা 25টা বা 100টা কম্পিউটার ইউজ করতে বাধ্য হই, কিন্তু এটার যে ইম্প্যাক্ট, এটাতে আমাকে কাজ করার জন্য সাহায্য করে, কিন্তু এটার যে একটা পার্সিয়াল ইফেক্ট আছে, সেই ইফেক্ট গুলো কিন্তু এই জায়গাটাতে কিভাবে মিনিমাইজ করা যায়, উই ক্যান নট অ্যাভয়েড দোজ গ্যাজেটস অ্যান্ড এনি আদার থিং, কিন্তু আমাদেরকে এইটার যে কিভাবে মিনিমাম আমাদের পরিবেশের উপর ইফেক্ট হবে, এবং তার সঙ্গে আমাদের সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের আমরা বিভিন্ন ধরনের গোল আছে, আমরা 20 ইয়ার্সের মধ্যে কিভাবে আমরা করতে পারি, সেই জাতীয় জিনিস আমাদের মানে ডক্টর এপিজে আব্দুল কালাম আমাদের প্রাক্তন রাষ্ট্রপতি ছিলেন, এবং তার সঙ্গে সায়েন্টিস্ট ছিলেন, উনি অ্যাটমিক এনার্জি সায়েন্টিস্ট ছিলেন, তার অনেক কিছু ব্যাপার আছে। তিনিও এরকম একটা জিনিস দিয়েছিলেন, সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের জন্য আমাদের যে গোল, সেই গোল আমরা কিভাবে অ্যাচিভ করতে পারি, সেই জাতীয় যে আলোচনা চক্র সেখানে এখানে যারা হচ্ছে, আশা করি আমাদের যারা পার্টিসিপেন্টস যারা আছেন, আমাদের এমিনেন্ট সায়েন্টিস্টরা আছেন, তাদের কাছ থেকে এই শোনার পরে তারা নিজের নিজের চিন্তা ভাবনার মাধ্যম দিয়ে ফিউচার জেনারেশন এগিয়ে আসবেন, এবং ফিউচার জেনারেশনের মাধ্যমে আমরা কিন্তু যে জায়গাতে মানে সায়েন্সের মাধ্যমে যে জায়গায় ডেভেলপমেন্ট, সেই ডেভেলপমেন্ট হবে, বাট তার কোনো সোশ্যাল ব্যাড ইম্প্যাক্ট পড়বে না, এই জায়গাটাতে আমাদেরকে যেতে হবে। সো আমি আজকে আর বেশি কিছু বলবো না, এখানে যারা এসছেন তাদের সবাইকে আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি, এবং আমি নিজে পার্সোনালি এখানে আসতে পেরেও আমি নিজেকে গর্বিত বোধ করছি। বিভিন্ন কলেজে যখন অনুষ্ঠানে যাই, তখন আমাদেরও একটু মাইন্ড রিফ্রেশ হয়, মানে আমরা সবসময় এমন একটা কাজের মধ্য দিয়ে থাকি, যে কাজে আমরা ওই অনেকটা ইউনিডিরেকশনাল টাইপের হয়ে যায়। তো এই জাতীয় যখন আমরা সেমিনারে আসি, তখন আমাদের ওয়াইড ওপেন হয়ে যায়, আমাদের মাইন্ডও অনেকটা ওয়াইড ওপেন হয়ে যায়। আমরা যারা পুরনো যে ফিল্ডের কথা মনে পড়ে, যেমন আমি ফিজিক্স ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থেকে, তাহলে আমার ফিজিক্সের কথা মনে পড়বে। তো এই জাতীয় কলেজের সেমিনারে উপস্থিত থাকতে পারে আমার নিজের খুব ভালো লাগছে। আশা করি ছাত্রছাত্রীরা বা যারা এসছেন এখানে, এবং ইনক্লুডিং আমাদের যারা ডিস্টিংগুইশ গেস্ট এবং যারা কলেজের প্রফেসর থেকে আরম্ভ করে যারা শিক্ষাক্ষেত্রে যারা আছেন, তারা সবাই এই সেমিনার থেকে উপকৃত হবেন। সবাইকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ, এবং আমার তরফ থেকে অসংখ্য শুভেচ্ছা। ধন্যবাদ।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ স্যার। ফিজিসিস্টরা যখন বায়োলজির কথা বলেন তখন তারা অসাধারণ উচ্চ মার্গের কথা বলেন। আমরা দেখেছি আমাদের বরোদা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়াশোনা করেছিলেন ভেঙ্কটরামন রামকৃষ্ণন। পরবর্তী ক্ষেত্রে তিনি নোবেল পুরস্কার পান এবং তার যে আরএনএ বায়োলজির ওপর কাজ এটা যুগান্তকারী। সেভাবেই আমাদের এসডিও স্যার যখন বলেন আমরা তার কাছ থেকে অনেক কিছু শিখেছি। আমাদের এটা খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ একটা মোমেন্ট। আমরা আমাদের গভর্নিং বডির যারা সদস্য, আমাদের সম্মানীয় ভগবত মাঝি স্যার এবং চন্দ্রশেখর কুন্ডু স্যারকে আমরা মঞ্চে আহ্বান জানাই এবং আমাদের অনারেবল প্রিন্সিপাল ম্যাডাম তাদেরকে সংবর্ধিত করবেন। আমরা তাদেরকে মঞ্চে আসার জন্য অনুরোধ করছি এবং তাদেরকে সম্মানিত করবেন আমাদের অনারেবল প্রিন্সিপাল ম্যাডাম। অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। আমরা পরবর্তী ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের মধ্যে আমরা পেয়েছি আমাদের অন্যতম পদার্থবিজ্ঞানী এবং পরবর্তীতে তিনি ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর মহাত্মা গান্ধী ইউনিভার্সিটি। এবং মহাত্মা গান্ধীর নামাঙ্কিত যে ইউনিভার্সিটি আপনারা জানেন, মহাত্মা গান্ধীর যে আন্দোলনের প্রতিবাদ সেটাই ছিল সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের একটা মডেল। কারণ ওই ইংল্যান্ডের ঠান্ডায় যেখানে উইনস্টন চার্চিল এবং অন্যান্যরা সে অনেক বড় কোট প্যান্ট পরে যে আলোচনা সভায় অংশগ্রহণ করেছিলেন, মহাত্মা গান্ধী খালি গায়ে সেখানে গিয়ে উপস্থিত হন এবং ভারতবর্ষের ওপর যে শোষণ, সেই শোষণের প্রতিমূর্তি তিনি কিন্তু তুলে ধরেছিলেন। এবং তিনি বিশ্বাস করতেন আমাদের প্রকৃতি এবং আমাদের সমাজের মধ্যে থেকে যে বিশ্বাস আমরা অর্জন করি সেই বিশ্বাসের বলে বলিয়ান হয়ে সমাজকে পরিবর্তন করা যায়। এরকম ধরনের মানুষেরা আমাদের কলেজে যখন আসেন আমরা সমৃদ্ধ হই। তাই অধ্যাপক সৌম্যাংশু মুখোপাধ্যায়ের আজকের এই আলোচনা সভায় আসায় আমরা ভীষণভাবে কৃতজ্ঞ। স্যার, আপনার কাছ থেকে আমরা আজকের এই ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কনফারেন্সের আপনার অমূল্য বক্তব্য শোনার জন্য অধীর আগ্রহে অপেক্ষা করছি।
শ্রদ্ধেয় প্রিন্সিপাল ডক্টর রজক, মঞ্চে উপবিষ্ট dignitaries, faculties, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pride privilege to be here in the inaugural session of this international conference. Actually, the sustainable development is a very old term, and in every generation, this is a topic of discussion for the next generation. Why we are thinking about the sustainable generation? That's because in the environment where we live is not proper. Because of global warming and several reasons, our environment is deeply polluted. And mainly in the third world countries, the environmental situation is very worse. And that's why for the people living in the third world country, the environment issue is a very important thing. To start with, to say few things, few words about these seminars, what I like to tell you that before 50 to 60 years ago, we knew that we have in the world 5 oceans: Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. But today in 21st century, we know that we have totally 6 number of oceans around the globe. And what is the sixth ocean? That ocean is the ocean of data. Numerous amounts of data are moving all around the world. Crores and crores, not only crores and crores, billion and billion, trillions of trillions data are moving. And in this world, in this situation, what are the duties of the people? To find out, to search the proper data from the ocean of the data. It's a very, very important task and a very, very difficult task. All the computer systems, what we use today, they have not capacity to identify, to search the proper data for the proper purpose. Mainly, particularly in biological world, in life science, the requirement of proper data for proper use is very, very much important. Till now, we don't know what is the actual reason of life. Even not the reason of life, even what is the reason of a particular minor illness. One physician cannot give guarantee that for a very, very minor fever, one patient will not die. Because of what? That is, in medicine world, in physiological world, what practice we follow. This is a trial and error practice. One medicine is applicable for one person, that medicine may not be applicable to the other person. And that's why there is not a complete specific mapping for the life world. Why this is actually, what is the problem behind it? Because the data processing related to the life world is not sufficient, is not high capacity. And therefore, to think about the sustainable world, what we need? We need proper searching of data, proper type of processing of data. Otherwise, we cannot do it. We cannot get sustainable. A sustainable development will be a topic of seminar in every and every year. Only this. Proper sustainable data development we cannot reach. And for that, the computer world, computer scientists, computer technology, this would come forward. You know, recently a very important topic in the engineering domain is introduced, that is quantum computing. Quantum computing is a very genius type of computing. And the inventor, the suggestion came from Richard Feynman, was a very, very renowned physicist and Nobel Award. And he suggested that quantum computing is such a computing which can take enormous number of data at a time. What is the situation in the present day computer? You know, I think all of you have some idea about the processing in present day computer. Present day computer deals with only 0 and 1, nothing else. I think you know what is 7, you know what is 8, but computer doesn't know what is 7 and 8. He translates 7 into 0 by 0 and 1 and 8 into 0 by 0 and 1. He knows only 0 and 1. But now in present day computation, instead of bits, these 0 and 1 are called bits. In present day computation, this bit, the concepts of bit is now over. It is qubit, quantum bit. And using 0 and 1, you can develop numerous crores of bits. And why I am telling? That is, in the huge amount of data, to process the data properly, to search the proper data from the ocean of data, you need such type of computer which is a very high-ended and which has should have the tremendous capacity of processing that is possible by quantum computer. this quantum computer is coming. Very first it is coming. Okay? And that time, if we use quantum computer, and at the same time, if we use artificial intelligence at the same time, artificial intelligence can be properly used by quantum computer in biological world, in life world mainly, where the usage of data is tremendous. In that sector, we can use artificial intelligence as well as quantum computing to process the information properly. And that should be the topic of the next generation survival, next generation environment, and so on. Artificial intelligence, we know artificial intelligence is a very, very promising topic today. There is no area, scientific area or technological area or life or area or wherever, if you go to the literature, if you go to the humanities, they are also, those people are also using artificial intelligence. And people believe that days will come when a classroom will need no teacher, an artificially intelligent computer will do it. Day is coming when for constructing a building, no engineer will be required. An artificially intelligent computer, he can do it. And days is coming when in the operation table, no that doctor will be required. Artificially intelligent doctor will serve the purpose very, very accurately. We are very much happy that artificial intelligent computers are coming and they will serve us in every sphere of life. We are very much happy. But there is a question, and this question, I am keeping this question to the young minds, the students. There is what will be the need of we people? Why we will survive in the surface of the globe? What is our role? In that time, when artificial intelligent computer will take the leading role in the every sphere of the life, and they will do the work very accurately, very successfully, very quickly. Then what is the necessity of we people? Why we will stay here? We'll stay here for eating, for sleeping, or for getting pleasure? Nothing else. This is a very question for the people of the future days. And the students who will enter their future life, whatever in the student may be a student of physics, chemistry, biology, life science, biotechnology, and when they will reach to their life, then what he will see that artificial intelligent computer has taken his job. Then what he will do? And this is a very question for this is a very alarming question for the scientific community, engineering community, everywhere. Future days. What is the necessity of us, we people? Our necessity, what is the difference between an animal and a man? It is the question of creativity. We people love creativity. We like to create new things. But there, if computer robots are taking this role, then what will we do? This is a question, challenging question. And people in mainly scientific community are very, very much worried about the question of using artificial intelligence in every sphere of life. It will must come. And some people are telling now, that is, we have seen the First World War, we have seen the Second World War, but till now we have not seen the Third World War. And some people say that day will come when artificial intelligence, when the Third World War will be by the human world and the artificially intelligent computer world. Who will take the role of controlling the world? Because artificial intelligent computer will be self-sufficient. just like us. And that is a very important problem for future days scientists and technologists. Thank you very much for inviting me in this dais. I believe that the experts who will deliver the talks are students mainly. It is the dedicated for the students, and students will find many avenues for their research from the talks of the experts. Thank you all. I expect this will be a very much successful. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. A great academician always put a question before us. As sir rightly pointed out, the juncture, as you know, recently I was reading after AI summit, 1 hectare of land in agricultural field, it gives us only 19 US dollar in terms of economic benefit. But 1 hectare of land, if you devote it to the data center, the economical outcome from that land is around 380 US dollar. So the question is where we should invest in agriculture or in data science, because this is the juncture where we are now looking forward that what needs to be done, and for that this conclave, this in conferences are truly the platforms where we can churn out about the ideas of different experts, and we can think where we should, in which direction we should take forward in the research. Particularly, we should think about the research and how the sustainable development can be achieved in terms of data and in terms of food security, nutrition security, and overall well-being of the human population. So now it's a great honor that who has been advocating about the health from the very primitive to the very advanced level. The person who is translating the basic science into the translatable, translatable science. That is our none other than Dr. Nikhil Chandra Das, sir, the superintendent of District Hospital Asansol. It's a great honor to hear from him once again in Asansol Girls College, because he is serving this district as well as the community of the marginalized segment. The advancement which is going on in the science, how it is truly reaching to the marginalized, it's a serious concern. It's a great honor to hear once again from Dr. Nikhil Chandra Das. He is from my school. Whenever I introduce him, I always feel privileged that we are from the same school where we studied means in Bukula Shoshi Smriti High School. It's a great honor to welcome once again, sir.
First of all, I extend my thanks and respect to the Asansol Girls College and dignitaries on the stage and off the stage. Myself also enriched here to hear the lectures of different dignitaries, and it is the International Conference of Sustainable Development by Gen Z. And I also learned here that sustainable development and the cause effect of the development are going side by side. So it is also a challenge. I learned many things here. I also read in the newspaper yesterday that one challenging thing. So if I tell you my mother tongue, যে সব উন্নয়ন, সব ডেভেলপমেন্ট তার মূলে আছে কিন্তু ভালোবাসা, মানুষের প্রতি ভালোবাসা। And it should be beyond the border. এটা কোনো দেশকাল মানে না। ভালো যদি মানুষকে বাঁচতে পারে, এই নীল গ্রহটাকে যদি ভালো বাঁচতে না পারে, তাহলে কিন্তু এই ডেভেলপমেন্টের পাশাপাশি যে জিনিসগুলো আসবে তাতে আমাদের পরবর্তীকালে এই নীল গ্রহটাকেই ধরে রাখতে পারবো কিনা সেটাই প্রশ্ন চিহ্নের মধ্যে দাঁড়িয়ে যাবে। এবং বিজ্ঞান এ তো গবেষণা করবে, নতুন নতুন জিনিস উঠে আসবে, তার যে আইডিয়া সেইটা কিন্তু আরো বৃহত্তর পরিসরে সেই আইডিয়াটা আমাদের পার্কুলেট করতে হবে, তাদের মধ্যে ছড়াতে হবে। প্রতিভাও আমরা খুব ক্ষুদ্র মানুষের মধ্যে খুঁজলে হবে না, প্রতিভাও আমাদের খুঁজতে হবে বৃহত্তরের মাধ্যমে। যার যেখানে যে প্রতিভা আছে, সবাই আইনস্টাইন নিউটন হবে না, কিন্তু সবাইকারের মধ্যে বিজ্ঞান চেতনাটা আমাদেরই দায়িত্বের মধ্যে পড়ে। যারা নতুন প্রজন্মের মানুষ এখন যারা, তাদের দায়িত্বের মধ্যে পড়ে, নাহলে পৃথিবীটাকে বাঁচানো যাবে না। শুধু আরাম 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 আরাম, আর তার বিনিময় যেটা ক্ষতি হয়ে যাচ্ছে তার দিকে যদি আমরা ধ্যান না দিতে পারি, তাহলে কিন্তু এই সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট, এই সায়েন্সের অগ্রগতি, এই বিজ্ঞানের অগ্রগতির কি মূল্য আছে বলুন? এই যে গাছের গোড়ায় জল দিয়ে আজকে উদ্বোধন হলো, কিন্তু আমরাই তো কাটি, নিজের ঘরের গাছ কাটি, রাস্তার গাছ কাটি, মাঠে ময়দানের গাছ কেটে ফেলি, কেননা তার আর্তনাদ করতে পারে না, তার সুগঠিত স্নায়ুতন্ত্র নেই বলে তার কোনো অনুভূতি দেখাতে পারে না, তার কোনো আবেগ নেই, তার কোনো ইমোশন নেই, সেজন্য আমরা গাছেদের লাশ কেটেই যাই। তো আমাকে ভালোবাসতে হবে, এই পৃথিবীটাকে ভালোবাসতে হবে, এই পৃথিবীর সমস্ত মানুষকে ভালোবাসতে হবে, এই পৃথিবীর যা কিছু সৃষ্টি তাকে ভালোবাসতে হবে। গাছের তাকেও আমাকে সন্তান সম সেই ভালোবাসাটা দিতে হবে। মানুষের প্রতি যদি ভালোবাসা না থাকে, এই নীল গ্রহটির প্রতি যদি ভালোবাসা না থাকে, তাহলে কিন্তু বিজ্ঞানের অগ্রগতি দিয়ে শুধুমাত্র সাস্টেনেবল যে ডেভেলপমেন্ট, সেটা কিন্তু ধরে রাখা যাবে না। আমাদের উন্নতি চাই, বিজ্ঞানের অগ্রগতি চাই, পাশাপাশি এই মানব সমাজ, এই পৃথিবী, তার যে সৃষ্টি, তাকে বাঁচানোরও যে আইডিয়া, যে মত, যে পথ, সেটা আরো বৃহত্তর পরিসরে নিয়ে যেতে হবে। আপনাদের সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ, অনেক অনেক শ্রদ্ধা। এইটুকু বলে আমার ছোট্ট বক্তব্য শেষ করছি। আমাকে আমার যা পেশা, আমাকে এক্ষুনি হাসপাতালে ফিরে যেতে হবে। নমস্কার।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ স্যার। তার কাছ থেকে আমরা যখনই তার লেখা আমরা পাই, আমরা সমৃদ্ধ হই। তার বিভিন্ন লেখার মধ্যে দিয়ে স্বাস্থ্য সচেতনতা এবং সমাজ ভাবনার তার যে সুচিন্তিত মতামত আমাদেরকে বারবার উদ্বুদ্ধ করেছে। আমরা আমাদের পরবর্তী বক্তাকে আহ্বান জানাবো। তার কারণ মানে আমি যখন তার সিভিটা পড়ছিলাম, আমি দেখলাম তার আন্ডার গ্রাজুয়েশন থেকে পিএইচডি পর্যন্ত বিশ্বভারতী, এবং বিশ্বভারতী মানেই আপনারা জানেন যে সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের যে অল্টারনেটিভ মডেল, সেটা কিন্তু প্রথম it was initiated by Rabindranath Tagore. When he got the Nobel Prize, he spent a substantial amount of the prize money to develop the, you know, drainage system in Vishwabharati. So you can understand the education, the visionary, the condition of the health and hygiene should be developed in an university setup. So the person who is a product of Vishwabharati is the right person to guide us in terms of when a conference is going on in sustainable development. It's a proud moment to welcome Dr. Oshomanjo Chattoraj sir.
ধন্যবাদ। আসানসোল গার্লস কলেজের কর্তৃপক্ষকে আমি আমার কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই আমাকে এখানে আসতে বলার জন্য। তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা এখানে এসেছি একটা সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট এবং তার কনসিকুয়েন্সেস সেসব নিয়ে শোনার জন্য। আর এত লং ইনগরেশন সেশন আমরা যখন ওখানে বসে থাকি আমাদেরও ভালো লাগে না। সেই জন্য আমরা, কারণ প্রত্যেকে এখানে এসেছে নির্দিষ্ট একটা উদ্দেশ্যে এবং সেটা নিয়ে জানতে এবং বুঝতে, সেটা নিয়ে আলোচনা করতে। সেটা আমাদের এই বলাটা আমাদের মনে হয় এবার বন্ধ করে দেওয়াটাই উচিত, এবং আমি এই কনফারেন্সের একদম সাফল্য কামনা করি। এবং আমি শুধু একটা কথাই এখানে বলতে চাইবো স্টুডেন্টসদের মাধ্যমে, আমাদের মূল সমস্যাটা যেটা হচ্ছে গত 60 বছর ধরে, যখন থেকে এই সাস্টেনেবিলিটি এবং এনভায়রনমেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা প্রচন্ড মাথা ঘামাচ্ছি, আমরাই নষ্ট করছি, একটু আগেই সবাই বলছিলেন। তো আমরা যদি বলি হোয়াট ইজ নেচার, তাহলে আমরা সবাই যে গল্প করছে, কিন্তু আমি যদি জিজ্ঞাসা করি যে হোয়াট ইজ নেচার, তখনই প্রশ্নটা হবে ওই যে গাছ, ফুল, পাতা, পাহাড়। হোয়াট অ্যাবাউট ইউ? এইটা আমাদের মেইন সমস্যা অফ দ্য ম্যানকাইন্ড। When we think about nature,
উই থিঙ্ক অ্যাবাউট এনভায়রনমেন্ট সাস্টেনেবল তো অনেক দূরের, অনেক প্রচুর পরের প্রশ্ন। এই নেচার আর এনভায়রনমেন্ট এখান থেকে আমি বাদ, এবং দ্যাট ইজ, সেই জন্য আমাদের এত টাকা পয়সা খরচা করা, সেমিনার করা, সিম্পোজিয়াম করা, প্রজেক্ট করা। তার মূল কারণটাই হচ্ছে যে এই নলেজের মাধ্যমে যে অ্যাওয়ারনেসটা সেটা যাতে পৌঁছায়, এবং এই পৌঁছাচ্ছে না বলেই কিন্তু আমাদের সমস্যাটা হচ্ছে। আমি বাজারে কিন্তু একটা ব্যাগ নিয়ে যেতেই পারি, যাবো না ক্যারি ব্যাগ কিন্তু একটা ক্যারিতে হয় দুটো দিন। উই ডোন্ট নো হোয়াট উই আর ডুইং। এখন তো ওই কি সব বলে, 1 টাকা শ্যাম্পু, 2 টাকার 3 টাকার টমেটো পাউচ, ভর্তি ভর্তি পলিথিলিনে ভর্তি হয়ে গেছে। তারপর তো লাইট, এই যে এলইডি ফেলিডি, একদম সর্বনাশ করছি আমরা। বাট মোবাইলটা যদি হাতে নিয়ে 2 মিনিট না বসি, তাহলে মনে হয় যা কি হলো, আমাকে সবাই আনকালচার্ড ভাববে, ব্রুট ভাববে। সমস্যাটা আমরাই তৈরি করছি আমাদের মধ্যে। 17 সাস্টেনেবল গোল কার জন্য? শুধু মানুষের জন্য না, ফর অল দ্য অর্গানিজমস। বাইবেল কি বলেছিল যে ওয়াই গড হ্যাজ ক্রিয়েটেড দ্য আর্থ অ্যান্ড দে ফ্রিড হিউম্যান বিং দেয়ার টু প্রোটেক্ট ইট। আমরা দারোয়ান, কারণ আমরা ইন্টেলিজেন্ট, আমরা কার্যকারণ সম্পর্ক বুঝি, এটা হয় বলে এটা হয়। But do we follow? Being an educated, so-called educated person, do I follow? No. এটাই আমাদের সব থেকে নেতিবাচক ভূমিকা। সেই নেতিবাচক ভূমিকা থেকে যতক্ষণ না অন্তত একবারও মনে করব না যে আই এম অলসো দা নেচার, তা না হলে এই কনফারেন্সের উদ্দেশ্যই সেটা, যে বোঝানো যে তুমিও কিন্তু এটার একটা পার্ট, এবং তুমি এটা করতে পারো। গরু, ছাগল, বেড়াল, গাছ, অ্যালগি, ব্রায়োফাইটস করতে পারে না। তোমার এটা রেসপন্সিবিলিটি, তোমার এই প্রোটেকশন দেওয়াটা তোমার রেসপন্সিবিলিটি। সো আমি মনে করি ইটস এনাফ। সো উইশ অল দ্য বেস্ট। থ্যাংক ইউ।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ স্যার। আমরা একেবারে অনুষ্ঠানের শেষ, আমাদের ইনঅগ্রাল সেশন খানিকটা দীর্ঘায়িত হয়েছে। আমাদের বিভিন্ন সম্মানীয় অতিথিরা আমাদের মধ্যে উপস্থিত হয়েছিলেন, কিন্তু স্যার যেভাবে বলেছেন, অসমঞ্জস স্যার, দেখবেন মানে এর জন্যই রবীন্দ্রনাথ গান্ধীজিকে মহাত্মা বলেছিলেন। তার কারণ মাই এক্সপেরিমেন্ট উইথ ট্রুথ, যে কোনো সত্যের কাছে পৌঁছানোর জন্য সেই মানে আমাদের কি ইন্ট্রোস্পেকশন বা যে কোনো পরীক্ষার প্রথম পর্যবেক্ষণটা কিন্তু নিজেকে দিয়েই শুরু করা উচিত। সেই ঔচিত্য বোধ থেকেই আমাদের আজকের এই কনফারেন্স। আমরা বিশ্বাস রাখি আপনাদের প্রত্যেকের ভালো লাগবে আগামী এই যে দুদিনের কনফারেন্স। আমি মঞ্চে আহ্বান জানাবো ডক্টর আনন্দ শর্মা স্যারকে, তিনি অর্গানাইজিং সেক্রেটারি, এবং a formal vote of thanks for this inaugural session. And Dr. Anand Sharma sir is a notable food microbiologist. He's from the botany department, but his research, particularly in the northeastern zone and their food culture and how it is inculcating in the food policy, his research is truly remarkable. A notable, researcher, academician, Dr. Anand Sharma sir will deliver the formal vote of thanks, sir.
Thank you, Anup sir. Good afternoon, one and all present here. So it's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion of our international conference. At the outset, I express my deepest gratitude to our respected Principal Madam, Dr. Swati Chakravarti, for her constant encouragement, visionary leadership, and support. I also extend my sincere thanks to IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Biru Razak, for the invaluable support and continuous cooperation in ensuring the academic excellence and smooth execution of this event. I would like to extend the word of thanks to all the dignitaries on the dais for their inspiring, thought-provoking talk. We are all deeply motivated by your words. My heartfelt appreciation goes to all the members of the organizing team and the various committee members, and especially student volunteers whose dedication, teamwork, and tireless effort for this conference. A big thanks to the today's speaker, principals from various colleges, media persons for taking time from their busy schedules to grace this event. Finally, I extend my gratitude to everyone who contributed directly or indirectly for this event. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, all the respected dignitaries. Now we would request all of you, please have the seat of the dais. It's a great honor to welcome all the respected dignitaries. this conference. And with this, we are done with our inaugural session. Now the technical session one, and the session is going to be chaired by Professor Dr. Oshomondo Chattoraj sir, Honorable Dean, Faculty of Science, Kachi Nazrul University. And we are truly eager to hear the first Dr. Anjali Rai Memorial Lecture by Dr. Swati Niyogi, Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT Kharagpur, India. The title of the lecture is Development of a Hydrogen Storage and Distribution System Using Advanced Composite Technology Integrated with Sensor. And truly, we are eagerly waiting for Swati Niyogi, Madam. And after that, we have a keynote lecture by Dr. Bhaskar Roy, Hansao Institute of Medicine, Chinese Academy of Sciences, China. Title of the lecture is Multi-omic Studies Reveals the Heterogeneity of Human Liver Progenitor Cells. So first, we are waiting for the first Dr. Anjali Rai Memorial Lecture by Dr. Swati Niyogi, Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering. And we are truly honored that Dr. Oshomondo Chattoraj sir is going to chair the session, and we would request our respected speaker, Madam, to please. I think Madam is available at the virtual platform, and we would request Dr. Oshomondo Chattoraj sir, please come forward and start the session.
Hello. Yes, I am here. Should I start? Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, probably I got disconnected a little bit. So thank you for inviting me for this lecture, and I am honored to be a part of your conference, Professor Chakraborty. Uh, Today, I know that this conference is for sustainable. Yes, sustainability has a big meaning, and we are working. All of us at IIT Kharagpur, my team is working for sustainable development and to bypass the actually to have the renewable energy. So I will start from there. And for last couple of years, I am involved in the hydrogen energy, and for that purpose, I was awarded a Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation National Fellowship Award. As a part of that, I am developing the hydrogen, developing the composite structures for the application in hydrogen storage and distribution integrated with sensor. Today, I decided that I will talk about that. And but before that, I want to give you a little bit introduction. Why we are talking about hydrogen? Because hydrogen is the key tool to achieve net zero. As we know that the Paris Agreement, we want that temperature rise not to exceed 1.5 degree. Glasgow Climate Pact also made clear that we should achieve the net zero by 2050. But how? It's a tall task. How should we achieve it? So there are ways that we have to reduce the carbon dioxide. If we don't do anything, if we go to the current projection, then it will be 3-degree rise by 2050. So from 3-degree projected rate to 1.5 degree, we have to do a lot. So there are basically three ways we can do that, which is energy intensity, efficiency. That means we can use LED light, we can do other things, and we can get different cluster where probably energy wastage will be less. But all those are minuscule increase. Energy efficiency will bring down only 3 to 4%. Structural changes, there are many logistical difficulties, and that's also not bringing much, bringing down the carbon dioxide emission not much to get to achieve the net zero. So there is a other resource available, which is the deployment of the renewable solutions. Definitely bioenergy is one of that, but among that, hydrogen has has a potential to catalyze disruptive technology in energy sector. So that's why actually that, but the question is why hydrogen? Because there are other things. The main focus is that if we burn the hydrogen, then it will produce water, and if we split the hydrogen, we'll get the we'll get the if we split water, we will get the hydrogen. So it's a cycle, and there is no emission of CO2, and it is a three times the energy efficiency is the three times. And as we talked about, there is no emission of the CO2, and also there are EV electric vehicles and others. So why hydrogen? What the advantage of the hydrogen for over the EV? Because fuel cells can be recharged under 5 minutes. Or the EV vehicles, if any one of you are using that vehicle, you know it takes more than 30 minutes. And definitely, it's more versatile. It can be used for mobile, stationary, transportation, localized, for green ammonia production, for industry revolution, every green industry revolution, it can be used. And definitely, it's energy self-reliance. And due to that reason, our Honorable Prime Minister, definitely, at all of us, we know probably, launched on 15th August 2021, the NHEM, National Hydrogen Energy Mission. So under that energy hydrogen mission, there are achievements and there are lots of projects also undergoing. And also the government of India is conducting different mission projects, which is also towards the progress of hydrogen and working with different countries. And here at IIT Kharagpur, at my lab, Composite Applications Lab, which is, we call it CAL lab, and we are working to achieve some of, at least part of the mission, NHM mission, and part of the MI projects. So one of the projects today I will be talking about, but before that, I think many of you know, please just if I'm teaching to the square, or if you know already, please ignore, please excuse me. But I want to start from where is the hydrogen, what is the hydrogen ecosystem? All of us, it's obvious, we have to produce hydrogen and we'll be using hydrogen. So production and utilization, definitely all of us we know and we can understand immediately. But how that production side, the hydrogen will be going to utilization side to be utilized. So that is a component storage and the distribution. That storage and distribution area is really, really unknown. And I'm proud to say that our lab in India is very much active to work in that area. Okay, so just to give you an idea, we can produce the hydrogen by using the renewable energy and using electrolyzers splitting the water, as we talked about in the beginning. We can produce some, this is green hydrogen, which we will be doing using renewable energy, and the hydrogen is produced, that is the green hydrogen. There are some other type of hydrogens. There are many types, 12 types. I'm not going to talk about green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, purple, and all kind of hydrogens are there. But that also can be produced. But hydrogen is produced in the gaseous form. So how will you store it and how will you distribute it? So there are one way that you can compress the gaseous hydrogen which is produced, and then we can store it in a cylinder. In the cylinder, when we'll store it, that cylinder can go directly to the car. And oh, sorry, I'm not in the presentation mode. I'm sorry. Okay, so it can go directly to the car to be utilized. And then the compressed hydrogen can be stored in the tubes, and tubes can be transported through the tube trailers to the refueling stations, and that can go to the vehicles. Then, for a very, very long distance, the hydrogen can be directly pipelined to the residential area, industrial area, commercial area, or anywhere. But only economics actually tells us when we'll be using tubes to distribute the hydrogen, store and distribute, and when we'll be using the pipelines. For pipelines, if it is a major amount of hydrogen we have to transport, then pipeline makes sense because infrastructure have to be created. Whereas that storage and the tube and infrastructure cost, it will be much less. There are other way we can do the hydrogen. Hydrogen we can, gaseous hydrogen we can liquefy, but cryogenic temperature is minus 275 degrees. So it's a very low temperature you have to liquefy and then why? But liquid hydrogen is easy to transport in any form. But the problem is that when you will be ready to use it, you have to make the liquid hydrogen to gaseous form also. In a couple of slides, next couple of slides, I will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the compressed hydrogen versus liquefied hydrogen versus cryo-compressed. In the cryo-compressed is actually both. These two are the single phase system. Here in cryo-compressed, we have both gas and liquid phase system. So let's talk about now the other. So basically, there are other hydrogen storage techniques also. So far, I talked about compressed, liquid, and cold cryo, which is the physical based storage. Now there are other storage, which is a material based storage. I am not sure who are my audiences are, but if there are students are involved, I can ask the students, you know the hydride, no? So the hydrogen can be stored or absorbed in the hydride, in the metal form, in interstitial hydride, complex hydride. It can be stored in absorbed in the MOF, carbon materials, and liquid organic and liquid inorganic. But there are major problem for the material based hydrogen storage. So definitely we can store a lot of hydrogen in the material based, but it needs moderate temperature and pressure. Absorption kinetics is very rapid, but desorption kinetics is not. So a problem is that when we want the hydrogen, to get the hydrogen out of the hydride or the material-based storage, it involves a complex thermal management system, thermal pressure system, and it actually probably we might risk a violent and uncontrolled spontaneous reactions. So yes, I am mostly mostly I am advancing the physical form of hydrogen storage, but people are working on the material based storage also. In IIT Bombay, the work is ongoing on the material based storage. But in the in the physical storage form, compressed hydrogen, as we talked about, cylinder, liquid, and the cold cryo, so they have advantages and disadvantages also. Mostly, this is a new form, and this has a lot of complex issues because it both gas and liquid, two phases exist, and very high pressure definitely, and the operating temperature is minus 253 degrees. So this is a newer technology, and there are lots of challenges. So I'm not going to talk about a lot about this technology, but I will talk about compressed versus the liquid one. In the compressed, yes, the compressed gravimetric density is very low, so we need a very high pressure. Whereas in liquid, we can operate at 10 bar compared to 1000 bar. But the major challenge is that in the liquid hydrogen, you have to liquefy the hydrogen, and then again you have to gasify the hydrogen at the time of use. So still, I will prefer, or I always think that for immediate use, or especially for transportation and other purposes, compressed hydrogen is much better option. Uh, this is, I am talking about the storage. Now, how will you distribute the hydrogen from production side to the utilization side? Like NTPC, they are producing probably hydrogen, Indian Oil producing probably blue hydrogen from their refinery, and there are some other plant who are making the ammonia and who needs that hydrogen. So how will you get that hydrogen from IOCL refinery to the ammonia production side? So there are two ways, pillars and the pipelines. The pipelines we don't have in India, it doesn't exist at this moment, but we are working on it. Indian Oil definitely is working on it. Tube trailers is one of the way we can get it done. So now I will talk about that for storage and for the storage. What are the challenges for the hydrogen energy? Since the hydrogen very low volumetric density, so we have to compress the hydrogen at very high pressure. All of us we know the PVT relationship to get a reasonable amount of volume of hydrogen in a cylinder, so that we can, if we are using for driving the car, at least we can get a decent mileage. So that brings us that it has to be compressed at a very high pressure, all the way to 1000 bar, and probably at nowadays the standard one is the 700 bar, 350 bar, and the 700 bar. The other problem is hydrogen gas is the fast gas in our periodic table. So permeability is very reactive. It's very small. It permeates through the, especially non-metallic. So metallic and metallic one, hydrogen is very reactive, and with the metallic one, it reacts, causing the hydrogen embrittlement. So between these two, permeability and hydrogen embrittlement, we have to choose whether we'll use the metallic one or the liner, polymeric liner. But metallic one is, there is no metal exists which can give us the working pressure 1000 bar, the burst pressure should be more than 2400 bar. So we have an option with the composite, carbon fiber composites, and that's what I'm doing in my lab. And for that, we have to use the polymeric liner. And for polymeric liner, we have to, gas permeability is the problem. So we have to choose a polymer very carefully so that the permeability can be minimized. Then there are other issues for liquid storage, boil up issue, because minus 257, as I told you, that cryogenic temperature, the liquid to gaseous hydrogen temperature. So that's also a big problem. There are many other problems. Hydrogen is a gas and which is very wide flammability range. Hydrogen, 4% hydrogen in air can cause the fire, and you will burn and you won't know that you are on fire. That's the another problem because it's a colorless, odorless gas. For that one, that was the reason this project, the objective of this project for which I was awarded the Abdul Kalam Fellowship. So for that, we are designing a composite structures for storage and the distributions, which is the only composite can do that. As I said, that no metal is there which is not embrittled or which is not which have that much strength to store the hydrogen at 1000 bar or 700 bar. So we are developing a prototype manufacturing prototype to get the storage structure and the distribution structure, and we are developing parallelly a sensor technology which we will be integrating with these prototypes so that the prototype, when hydrogen is leaking through the structures, storage structures, at least the sensor will tell us whether hydrogen is leaking or not, or whether health of the storage system and the delivery system is jeopardized. So there are threefold objectives. One is the design of the composite structure, develop the sensor technology, and design and the manufacture the prototype and integrate the sensor with the prototype so that we can get a composite structures for storage and distribution for safe handling. And definitely we have to determine the reliability, how much reliable are they, because as I said, the 1000 bar to 2400 bar burst pressure, no one knows when hydrogen is leaking. No one knows when it's burning. It is like a bomb. So we have to be very careful and we have to get a safe structure. So for this project, we have targeted, there are two types of pressure vessels. I'm not going into the details because I have very limited time, but later for interaction or any of you are interested, please contact me later and I will go through that. And we have in our lab also, I will welcome all of you to visit my lab to see all these structures, what we have developed. So we have developed type 3, type 4 we have started with the APA simulation. We did the liner form. The liner has to be seamless, and we have used the spinning technology from the tube. And then we made the prototype, and we tested the prototype. There is no testing facility for 2,400 bar in India, so I had to send to USA, and then we tested it. And here is our design pressure and the test pressure is actually matching. So our platform is working great and we worked for 6 years. I'm telling you in just in a couple of seconds, but it took 6 years to develop this. So then we have done the similar thing for the tube systems, which the tubes can be loaded into the can be loaded into the truck, and that can go to the refueling station or wherever it's needed. Currently, the tubes are made of the hydrogen and the longevity is less. We are trying to get it converted to the composites, and in that way, we are getting almost the pressure the weight of the tube is almost 1/3 of the metallic tube. So that's the one of the advantage we are getting using composite of that. So for that also we are doing FEM modeling, we are designing the tube, we are manufacturing it. Now the second objective. How I'm doing on the time? This is another 12 minutes, isn't it? Uh, Another 12 minutes. Okay, so I'm fine. I think I'll be able to finish it on time. So there is a second part, which is the hydrogen sensors. So for the sensors, as I told you, the hydrogen is highly flammable, colorless, odorless. So we have to find out the sensor technology also. So there are many sensor technology already exist in the literature. So I would say at this moment, I am just trying to start what are the sensor technologies and whether we can get it, whether we can integrate that sensor technology with my composite system so that we can detect the hydrogen. But the major problem for all these resistance based thermal conductivity, catalytic, electrochemical, all those things is we need another secondary monitoring system or measurement system, which we can't afford to be integrated with the composite system. So there are one thing we realize that if it's a chemochromatic sensor, then it will be the best option to be integrated to the composite cylinders or the tubes. Why? Because it is not an initiator of explosion. The working principle is same. The color, it will change the color in presence of hydrogen, and from the color change, you will be able to calibrate that how much hydrogen is leaking, and we will be able to detect whether hydrogen is leaking. That I will explain in few minutes. And it's easy to detect. One thing is that we need color change due to hydrogen on the chemochromatic sensors. Delta E should be greater than 50. Delta E means, I will explain what is delta E, that is based on LAB value, and because to make it eye readable. And also we need the least possible response time. When the sensor will be in contact with hydrogen, this color change has to be developed as quickly as it possible, because otherwise if it is too late, we are late to detect hydrogen leakage, then by that time a lot of hydrogen will be escaped to the environment. So we don't want that one. Another thing, as I said, this one has to be integrated with the composite structures. We can't get a resistance based sensor or something like a tape, chemochromatic tapes, which is available in the market, nitro tapes, that cannot be integrated with the composite structures. So we started with the literature search, and we have actually singled out that zinc oxide based, titanium oxide based, magnesium oxide based. These three are might be the possible candidates to start our research. And then delta E, as I said, that what is delta E? Delta E actually is CIE lab color spec, L value, A value, B value. If any one of you are working with the color systems or pen systems or painting or whatever, so you know that these are the specifications, finds the color value. And we are determining delta E, and that delta E actually should be more than 15, as I talked about. And also, this delta E should develop between the flammable range, so 4% to 75% range. We don't want the delta E to be developed less than 4%. Why? Because it is impossible to prevent hydrogen to permeate from the cylinders. So prevent the permeate hydrogen shouldn't be causing the color change, because then we'll be confused the permeation with the leak. So we do not want that. So we limited that the sensor what will be developing should not be changing the colors, or delta E should not be less than more than 15 when the hydrogen concentration is 4%. So we have studied all the sensors within the range between 4 to 100%, actually, 4 to 75%. So how we did that work? We mixed the different concentration of the catalyst with the nanoparticles based and the microparticle based. We do the different water concentration, catalyst concentration, and we develop the sensors. And here is the a little bit schematics of our methods. We have used PDCl to an HCl, metal oxide, DI water. This ratio we have varied later. I will show you in molar ratio 1:2. We varied in a different ratio to minimize PDCl2, because PDCl2 is very costly materials. And this technology is ready to be implemented commercially. So we wanted as less cost as possible. So we started, this is the lab scale. Large scale, we will be manufacturing in a different way. And then once we got the sensor, and after that sensor, the characterization we have done. What we have done that we made is we developed a shell. In this shell, we are putting the flakes or the sensor particles. We are passing to the hydrogen, and we are taking the video cameras, and using the video cameras, we are doing the image processing to get our delta E. So this is the basic methods we are using. Here are there in between we have done a lot of other characterizations, but here I will show some quick important results. So here is the sensor particles. We saw that TiO2, zinc oxide, magnesium oxide, where zinc oxide and magnesium oxide is giving me the much higher delta E, but the time response is best for TiO2. You can see the very sharp rise of the TiO2. So that means within very short time, and this line is the delta E, where we targeted the delta E, will be targeting around above 15. And above 15, we can see that within 3 seconds, we are getting the color change of TiO2, whereas for uh, zinc oxide, we are almost getting 250 seconds, and for magnesium oxides, it takes about similar time. So we are more or less inclined to get that TiO2. Here is the delta E and the response time after 24 hours. After 24 hours, definitely zinc oxide and magnesium oxide is having higher delta T. But shorter time, TiO2 has better delta E. Okay, so here we have, as I told, we do not want the sensor to develop the color below 4%, because we do not want to be confused leak with the permission of the hydrogen. So we can see that there also that TiO2 others, they didn't develop significant color below 4%. So we are happy with our sensor technology, what we developed in our lab. Here, another thing is the same studies, different way. Now, so far, what I showed the data that was basically the nanoparticles. Now we have sprinkled on the composites, and we have done the same study. I have 4 more minutes now, so I will go very quickly. So here we have done the same thing, and same thing we have seen again and again, that TiO2 on the epoxy plates, because the cylinders made of the epoxy, the carbon fibers. So TiO2 on the epoxy plates giving us the best result. Then as we talked about, we are trying to minimize the palladium, and we saw that 1 millimole palladium is giving me the 17.23. So based on that, we have decided that we'll be using for commercial applications one millimole H2PdCl2, which will give me the cost of rupees 2,124 per probably. Probably it will go meter. We didn't do that calculation yet. Okay, so far we have developed on the plates, but how will it work on the cylinder? That we have to study now. So as a pre-study, what we did, we simulated a bottle which might be like a cylinder, and cylinder has a liner which is the polyethylene. So we made a cut, and then we wrapped around with the carbon fiber mat. It was not exactly that we are making the cylinder in that way, but at least we are simulating in that way. So we have put the 3 layers carbon fiber mat, and then we are doing a top white layer so that we can see the color in a better way. Then we have applied the sensor on the top of the cylinders. Then we pass the hydrogen through that, and we saw that its color is changed. So now this is a pre-trial. Now we are ready to apply this sensor into a full form of hydrogen cylinders, so that we can see that whether will we get the cylinders integrated with these sensors, which will give us the color actually. So for this project, we have done all the parts. We have done the composite structures. We made the prototype. We have developed the sensors. We are in the method of the sensor integration. So this is the final stage we are working on, and we have another another year, more than year and two, to complete this, and a prototype to develop, and also a field trial. And as I mentioned, that this was the part of the INA HRB DST Abdul Kalam Innovation National Fellowship Award. And here I think that I would like to give a little bit about my lab. I worked in USA for 16 years on the corporate R&D. Then when I came back to India, government of India through the TIFAC, at that time TIFAC was having the composite mission. They gave me generous amount of money to develop the composite applications lab, and which is equipped with the state of the art advanced composite technology. We have a filament binding machine, we have a PRTM, we have RTM, we have a hydraulic press, we have all kind of testing facility, we have the software facility, and thanks to government of India. So I am working since 2012 in different areas: defense, marine, energy, optical, and then composite technology. Yeah, probably I should have talked about this since it's the bioenergy. I am working on the biocomposites also, and obviously smart composite system, space applications also I'm working, and this is my current focus. And here is my lab group. Without them, all the work I am presenting today, this is not my work, this is their work. This is my vision probably, but they have implemented all the work. And here are all the fun things we are having in our lab with our group. And thank you for your attention and ready to take the questions.
Thank you, Professor Yogi, for your excellent talk, and we all know you as a person for the renewable energy from last 2 decades, and India really recognize you as your work. So, if there is any questions from the audience, uh, if there is any question from the audience. So, if not, so I have one just query regarding your work. So, what do you think about the waste management? Because whatever the resources you're utilizing, so what is about
Uh,
because
uh,
that is a
One second, yeah. I could waste management after that I couldn't hear. Please, can you repeat again?
yeah, I mean, whatever the technology you have developed, so when the hydrogen is using, so is there any waste possible? There would be any accumulation of waste, and if there is any accumulation of waste after this technology is being used, so what is your plan to deactivate this thing?
Yes. Fantastic question. Actually, as we are talking, okay, we are writing another proposal or we are working already. Yes, that carbon fiber is very costly. We have to import it. We have to get it from US and others, and we do not want to, and it is a wastage of everything. So at this moment in our lab, we are trying to do the recycling of that carbon fiber. There are many ways we can do that at carbon fiber recycling, but I do not want to tell what it is, but anyway, I am doing electrochemical, chemical, thermal way to recycle the carbon fiber and use that carbon fiber. I'm trying to get the circular economy. So carbon fiber recycled, and that recycled carbon fiber, if we can use it again for the hydrogen storage vessels, probably it may not be possible for 1,000 bar, but for other smaller like CNG, hydrogen or CNG or other storage vessels, it can be used for the motor vehicles, okay, the car, SMC, sheet molding composition, other for car. And another thing we are trying at this moment, we are trying to make a 3D printed electrode which can be used in a fuel cell for water splitting. So it will give us a circular economy. Yes, that wastage will be too much of that carbon fiber at the end of life of the cylinders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
answered your question.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. That
Yes.
was my question. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your excellent talk, and we are waiting for your next, product, and wish you all the best, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah, the products are already, I don't know, actually, I will invite the students to come. Asansol is not far away from the IIT Kharagpur, and currently I'm in US, but I will be back in May. So I will invite the students to come and see in my lab those what we are working on. It will be very fascinating to see and very
Thank
learning,
you.
and I will be delighted to share the knowledge with them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Anything? So can I leave or?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
So next speaker is Dr. Bhaskar Rai from Hangzhou Institute of Medicine, Chinese Academy of Science. And we are very happy to welcome him as he has started his career from University of Bardhaman, then he moves to Mysore, then he started to work in Central Cell Silkport, then he went for the India-China exchange program to China and started his uh, work. And from 2014 to 2023, he has served as a senior scientist, and he is working on multi-omics system, and now he will be working talking about the multi-omics studies reduce heterogeneity of human liver progenitor cell. Dr. Rai, thank you. Can you please turn on your microphone? Your microphone is mute.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm audible now?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Sathi Chakraborty and Dr. Priyanka Chakraborty for inviting me to this conference. Today, I will present on the topic multiomics study reveals the heterogeneity of liver progenitor cells. It's not moving. Oh, sorry. Okay. So these are the key topics. I'll cover it up in these presentations. The So first of all, I will introduce myself. That I'm a research scientist at the Hangzhou Institute of Medical Science. Prior to joining HIM, I have served as a research scientist at BGI, where I led projects at the next generation sequencing technologies and cancer genomics and multi-omics integrations across the diverse disease models. I have published more than 50 peer-reviewed articles and leading journals, international journals, and supervised many PhD students and master students in our institutes. I'm currently interested to focus on the multiomics data integrations, AI driving discoveries of disease mechanisms, and AI enabled to help perform for accelerating drug discovery. So, liver disease. Liver disease is a highly complex organ essential for metabolism, detoxification, and immunoregulations. The factors such as virus and alcohol metabolisms and toxins can spoil liver function. So leading to chronic injury and progressions, the end stage of liver disease. Although liver diseases share the common features, display distinct pathological and clinical characteristics. So, liver disease causes approximately 2 million people in the world and each year, and yet effective cures that remain limited due to incomplete understanding of the disease mechanisms. Okay. So, these liver highly regenerative organs, and it is multiple cell populations to cover from the injuries. So, liver progenitor cells, LPC, is the serve as a regenerative reservoirs inside the LPC biology from the animal model to fail to capture the human specific cellular heterogeneity. So LPC diversity across the disease state and process and hepatitis HCC, the poorly understood. So limiting clinical transmissions and single cells and special transcriptomics. These both two technologies provide the powerful approach to define how human LPCs are states and functional directly with the disease states and tissues. So next, this is the one of my paper I am going to present. Last year I published this paper, and it is this study systematically identified LPCs and across the different stages, the fetal, healthy, fibrosis, cirrhosis, and cancer. So by compressing LPCs, state and cause artificial conditions include the cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma. We uncover the key molecular pathways to govern the LPC's mediate liver regenerations and establish the traditional framework to inform the condition specific and precision liver treatment in future. The significance of they have significance and challenges for the LPC. The LPC is the critical role for regenerative and particularly when the hepatocyte is failed. So understanding LPC disease repair and revealing the condition specific condition LPC's functions, for example, fetal health cirrhosis and ACCs is the very important, and this work provides key biological insight and lay foundations for developing target LPC best therapy for serve the liver disease. Yes, this is the challenge because the LCC is the very small quantity and in there and share the expression marker other epithelial cells. So particularly in this knowledge, most existing knowledge is diverse from recent rodent model, but it is don't have the much in human model. So RNA-seq study LPCs are often looked at for the collagenosites rather than recognized and the bipotent populations. The leaving the LPCs LPCs as a heterogeneity across the disease conditions and poorly defined and microenvironmental signaling related LPC activations and differentiations remain largely unexplored. So in regard is to working on this. Before this, we use this technology is called the DNB technologies. So what is the DNB6? The DNA nanoball sequencing technologies. So this technology developed by GI. So here you can see we generate the library. So it's called it's called the singular cellular DNA library. And after that, once we get that library, is the DNA nanoball for present array technology, where it was the library it will be put on the flow cells, and once it get the loaded in the flow cells, it will be the synthesis will start. It is called computational swap agricultural synthesis through the instruments. So the main involve the three technologies is called DNA nanoball technologies, pattern array technologies, and CPAS technologies. So DNA. So when this is the work, is the library preparations and make and DNB and CPAS sequencing technology through for the sequencing. Okay, so in this, once we get the genomic DNA after ligations and PCRs, we go for the singular strand circularized DNA. Once we get the single strand circularizations DNA, we make the DNB the more copies and go for the CPAS sequencing for the make the sequencing run. So this is the CPAS technologies. They involve the main three steps: the synthesis, imaging, and cleavage. And once we get the cleavage, and we can generate the FASTA-Q file and take out the FASTA-Q file and go for bioinformatics analysis of the samples. So I'll show the short video how it will work and how it is. Please watch and enjoy. It's the DNA nanopore. Yeah, this is a part of the DNA nanobots, and this is the pro cells. Okay, so we also developed this is the platform where we sequence it is called the DNB T7, the high speed, high fidelity, ultra tech, high throughput DNB platform where we can run the sequencing and samples and generate the data. This is the loader. Okay. So after that, so what is so BDI has developed the cell omics. Development of cell omics involved the revolutionary single cell, especially single cell and special omics to map the cellular heterogeneity and drive the breakthrough of in medicine and development of biology and disease understanding by integrating genomics, transcriptomics, epigenetics, and single cells analysis. They're requiring the advanced computational tools, especially in AI, foundational method like PCRs and AI, to multimodal analysis of complex cellular state and heterogeneity networks. The key area focus on the economic integrations and automation, special resolutions, and clinical translations. The single cell exome sequencing. Single cell exome sequencing is a powerful technique that analyzes the protein code regions individual in cells and revealing the genetic differences in mutations and missed the bulk sequence. This was also published in 12. After that, we 2020, 2013, we worked on the LC. This is the nano developed by BPI. This is the exactly what is called nanoliter scale-based technologies and customized the microwell chips and AC sequence technologies where this simultaneously analyzing the chromatin assembly and the transcriptomics with the same single cells. So in this and 2018, we developed PNV for lab technologies where we can single cells omics solutions can realize one-stop solutions omics research workflow based on the droplet. This is the droplet sequencing technologies, microfluidic technologies that DNB labs a highly throughput and single cells omics. And finally, it is published in the 2025 in the Science journals. That's called the stereo cells. So where the stereo cells are more integrated with morphology, transcriptomics, and proteomics in high resolutions structures of the single cells. So this is the stereo we also use is called Scomix or Scosix. That is a pioneering tool that achieve the nanoscale resolutions can theoretically achieve the 100% cells captures rates and obtaining more informative and accurate cells clusterings. Cytosix provide the centimeter scales panoramic field of view that's that's make the data more clear and high resolutions in the organs of the organs and any species organs and like in any tissues. The stereo 6 recognize the locations, nucleus throughput, the fluorescence images, where you can see here the fluorescence image and it will detect the 400 spot per cells and around the 10 micrometers. So I'll show the short videos so you can understand these technologies more clearly.
The boundlessness of space and time, the unlimited possibilities of life. Advances in science and technology enhance our capacity for knowledge. Spatial temporal omics technology leads life science research into a new age of space and time. Stelmix Stereo-Seq technology, developed by BGI, is the world's leading spatial temporal omics platform, powerfully combining nanoscale resolution with centimeter-level field of view. The Stereo-Seq chip comprises tens of billions of probes, each with spatial barcodes in a patterned array. Biological tissue is sectioned and loaded onto the Stereo-Seq chip, followed by fixation and permeabilization. mRNA from the tissue section hybridizes with the spatially barcoded probes, and reverse transcription then produces spatially barcoded cDNA. Following library preparation resolved Stereo-Seq data from the tissue section is generated. Proprietary cloud-based analysis reconstitutes the spatially resolved data and enables visualization of the original tissue section in space and time, empowering further analysis and study of spatial temporal atlases. Solve the mysteries of life in the context of space and time. Renew our understanding of the structure of life by bringing a new dimension to scientific studies. Redefine what is disease through spatial temporal qualities of histopathology. Reacquaint ourselves with individual development through mapping the spatial temporal process of development. Retrace the origins of life through exploring the spatial temporal clues in evolutionary biology, from understanding life on Earth to exploring the life of communities.
Okay, single cell RNA sequencing technology has become the art approach for unraveling the heterogeneity and complexity of RNA transcriptomics within the individual cells, as well as revealing the compositions of different cell types, different and function with a highly organized tissue and other organs. So once you get the samples from the hospital or doctors, you can dissolutions of the samples in your lab and using our technologies and the DNB C4 technologies to make the DNB nanoballs library and go for the sequencing through the T7 or others platform. And after analyze the data and go for the bioinformatics analysis. So the history of the technologies is not, it takes 1 decade for the sophisticated and accurate and high throughput analysis was achieved. Okay, so single cells, what we work on that, we have done the single cell RNA sequencing was performed the 42 individuals across the fetal and healthy cirrhotic and HCC liver. uh, and the 200 over 209,400 high quality cells after state filterings. The measures so we divided groups in different stromal cells, cells populations were identified using different marker, and UMAP was revealed condition specific cellular compositions across the immunocompartment. And after that, we also worked on the subclusters, 15 refined subpopulations, enabling the systematic high resolutions mapping of human liver progenitor cells, heterogeneity across the development and disease. Okay. So cell cycles, we perform the, you can see here the cell cycles coding and regeneration gene expressions were performed to control the cell cycles heterogeneities. And UMAP determine the cell cycle effect did not drive the major cellular differences. Although heterocytes and collagenosites and is defined the liver progenitor cells during the chronic liver injuries. So in the epithelial cells, with the potentials remain unclear. So after that, we did the validate with the stereo 6, where we use stereo at 0.5, 0.5 resolutions, and enabling high resolutions in liver tissues. And after that, we see that the LPCs, the LPCs and major 7 liver cell types were annotated using single cells sequencing as a reference. The special analysis revealed that the LPC colonized with collagenosites with the LPCs and remaining specially distant hepatic stellate cells and epithelial cells. Gene expressions profile strong links with the between ST and AC sequencing analysis. So, and finally, we enhance the EPC camps and PCNA and HNF1A, CDK1 and ET genes are enhanced, including high consistency of the LPC transcriptional states across the both platforms. So after that, we divided LPC1, LPC2, and LPC3, where they're reflecting profound the interpopulation heterogeneities. The differential gene expressions, we also studied the differential gene expression pattern varying the expression cells across the subtypes. Pathway analysis that reveals that WNT and HIPO notch signaling, suggesting the functional diversity related to hepatocytes resolution cell within the LPC within the LPC1, where it is 3% epithelial cells with LPC1 and P dominant across the conditions. And also LPC's markers, we also observe LPC 24 NFKB1 and TSCSTD2, where cranial mouse LPC markers were absent. Here you can see there is no markers here. So it is the more heterogeneities of different specific models. So here also you can, after the trajectory analysis and the pseudotype analysis, we observe that LPC1 to LPC3 occupying distinct different states and displaying divergence pseudotype and distribution reflect the heterogeneity differentiation pathways. And we also observe that when it is the HBG2 and PRBX2, where the decrease and when metabolic genes are the SRGN and TMSP4X was increased. So here the point was that LPC exists the dynamic and conditions depend of the differentiation state rather than single uniform populations. So after that, the proportions of the 6 clusters on the HEP1 to HEP6, HEP6 was relatively stable in HL in HLs, but show the decreasing trend of the chaotic state, and 2 subclusters, hepatocytes, two subtypes hepatocytes in and 11. 12 was mainly around present by TL and composition of eco 1 and eco 10. 12 mainly around TL. So it is very heterogeneous with the FL and HLs, and Eco K18 showed the higher fractions in FL. So the fluctuating proportions they reflect the extensive heterogeneity of hepatitis EP and LPCs under the different conditions. Here we also the cellular model define LPC driven the regenerative pattern, where the clustering is four distinct uh, constitution pattern, where you see the CM3 representing the regenerative states of the enriched LPC L1 and EPCM and heterocytes and collagenosites subclusters. So CM3 also be a high expression exhibits CM3, MYC, M3 and A1, PPC and A4, PPA1 and PEP is the alongside the metabolic and population genes signatures. So indicating the active regenerations. If you see the others, CM1 and CM2 and CM4, where predominantly hepatocytes only and the displaying the no regenerative profiling. So in this calculation, the CM3 represents the bipotent and LPC of centered regenerative states. And also the liver progenitor cells evidence varies across the four conditions. Fetal liver shows the highest proportions of proportions. So in others, when we see the others LPC universally as expressed, the EPCM and MYC and CN1 and STMN1, the regenerative associated genes. So reflecting the coordinations associated programs and modeling the scoring reveals the condition-specific transcriptional steps. And three genes, and after that, we also analyze the GCN, the co-expression network, where we can see the LPC M1 and M2 and M3 were identified, and each of the distinct hub of genes architectures, where we can see the M1 is enriched in four transportation genes and supporting homeostasis, and M2 the features of the network are promoting the active translation applications. And LPC M3 comprise the cytokine-related genes and mediated immunoregulated regenerations. Among these, LPC M2 exhibit the most intact co-expression structures. Okay. So in these summaries, we can see the major challenges and the studying the liver LPCs include their low abundant 3% limiting detection in small where the ACR and A6 data. And it is the overlapping the marker with epithelial cells and complicated LPC identifications. So by the way, to address this, we the 259 400 single cell across the four conditions, and two round clusterings robustly identify the bipotent human LPCs where the gene are highly expressed. The core finding of these genes is that the LPC displays the pronounced heterogeneity forming three functional subtypes. One is LPC1 to LPC3, characterized by distinct different signaling pathway, WNT, HIPPO, and signaling define the so it can define the LPC states, and also the regulation and analysis the polarizations with the polarizocytes, suggesting the cooperative regulations with the process and ACC providing enrich the context to overcome the LPC diversities. So despite this advanced special regions remains underexplored, and integration of special transcriptomics is essential to define the studies. And LPCs needs overall these human LPCs provide the foundation of condition specific regenerative strategies and precision medicine applications. So in these situations, now I'm looking for the AI, how to integrate the much data in AI generations. Although the integrations, physics-based digital twins, that are artificial intelligence, is now for use applications in the personalized medicines. So my plan is the digital twins to offer healthcare and accuracy and interpret, although an AI drives the speed and flexibility, and he has the, although I have the limitation. So AI combining their strength and adapting faster and more reliable individual predictions will the diagnosis tools for drug discovery also. Yes, I'm going to. Yes. So in this approach, I given the approach of the multiomics, how the multiomics data and the AI, the spatial data include the genomics, proteomics, and single cells information can integrate the multi-scales and multi-dimensional data sets using advanced transformations and the AI model. So this approach enable to construct to precise and comprehensive biological landscape, and facilitating the real-time digital twin for identifications, and drug discovery, target identifications, and treatment planning and diagnosis and prognosis. And these are the publications I have published in the last years from the lab. So finally, I need to acknowledge the Professor Yang Hami. He's the world popular scientist. He's also the leader of BGIS groups, and he's the director of Hamza Institute of Medicines. And he's the one of the PI. He's also involved in the BGI research and works. This is our team. We were. So I would thank to all my friends who are involved in these projects, and thank you to all. So thanks for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rai,
Yes.
for your very interesting presentation. So now it is open for discussion. Anyone wants to ask anything? So if not, then I have just two queries regarding the work.
Yes.
So as you were telling that the liver progenitor cells, okay, so liver progenitor cells, there it is thought that it is being derived from the mature liver cells, right? And if it is derived from the mature liver cells, and it has a very good relationship, as you were telling, that for the stress response, and not only the stress response, there are other aspects also which liver progenitor cells can be. And the clock associated gene is having a very important role. So in your data mining, have you find anything related to the clock association and the upregulation of liver progenitor cells?
Yes, I have found the several genes where it is upregulated. It's not. Sorry. Yes. What is the- Yes, I have found some genes where is the upregulated of the LPCs genes. I already told LPC N1 and these the metabolic genes are upregulated.
Yeah, but as you were telling, the marker for the CD24, which is being utilized, which is the marker for other activities also. So in that case, what I was thinking that if you the clock associated genes, then the clock, DMAL, PAR, CRY, so those are the genes which are very much closely associated to any kind of stressor response find in the liver. So as your liver progenitor cells are being derived in case of response to stress or any other conditions, disease-related conditions. So have you found any relationship with the clock association with this liver progenitor cells?
No. I didn't check this stage. I didn't found it any relationship of
Okay,
that.
okay, okay,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, it is need more. research on that, and also the special stomachs. We are this is also ongoing projects. We are also trying to find out there's others the relationship with these genes or not.
Okay.
So yeah, this is we are working on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rai, for your valuable.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I leave?
Yeah, please, please,
Okay,
please.
thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Roy and Dr. Niyogi madam, for their wonderful lectures. And last but not the least at all, Dr. Oshomanjo Chottoral sir for chairing the session. And it's a great honor that we had Bhaskar sir and Swati ma'am for the first technical session. And we are truly privileged the amount, the knowledge they disseminated amongst the students and the participants is truly remarkable. And we are truly honored, sir, that you given a consent to deliver your lecture in this international conference at Asansol. And now with this, we want to end this technical session one, and now we have a lunch break. Please, you need a food for thoughts, but thought always come with the food. So have your food and come back again to the technical session two, and we will be eagerly waiting for all of you. So please, now with this, we are breaking up for the lunch session, and after that, we will resume back to the formal technical sessions. Thank you all. 2:30 sharp we are going to start, so please keep it in your means please stick to the time, and please resume back to the session, this our seminar hall at 2:30. And please, so we the lunch is available at the backside of the seminar hall, so please have your lunch and come back at 2:30 sharp. Thank you.